Angry guy here, and women are hunting men. Women are hunting men. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
Well, a scary situation for actor Charlie Sheen after a woman tries to break into his home.
Yeah, Simon editor Mike Rogers is at the desk. And Mike, was the actor injured?
Yeah, he was. Not seriously enough to where he had to go to the hospital, but the sheriff's department ultimately arrested this woman with assault with a deadly weapon likely to cause great bodily injury. We'll show you some photos of the actor here. This all happened at a Malibu home in the 6,000 block of Cavallari, which is kind of on the Point Dume area. The sheriff's department says they responded for a neighbor dispute around 1 in the afternoon on Wednesday. When they arrived, they ultimately took that woman into custody. Now, TMZ reports that the woman apparently knocked at his door, and when Charlie Sheen opened the door, the woman began to strangle him. Now, the sheriff's department says that Charlie Sheen was ultimately checked out by the LA County Fire Department, but not taken to the hospital. That woman was arrested, as I said, for assault with a deadly weapon likely to cause great bodily injury, as well as residential burglary. Now, she was supposed to be in court today. We actually sent a photographer to the Van Nuys courthouse where she was supposed to appear, but apparently the sheriff's department says there was some sort of transportation issue, and she never actually made it to the courthouse, so her court hearing has now been rescheduled for next Tuesday, when we hope to figure out more of exactly what happened. But this is a pretty bizarre situation, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I should imagine we're going to keep tabs on this one.
Yeah.
So, guys, this is insane stuff. This is what's happening in society right now. This is why men are walking away rapidly. Many of you know what has happened with Jonathan Majors, his entire career destroyed. He was the victim. The driver testified, said that he was the victim. They didn't care. He's actually somehow now facing jail time after what happened to him. This woman chased him down the street. And this is the result. He's now facing jail time. He's lost his entire career. This completely goes against the actual law. How was he ever even charged? How was she not charged? It's simple, because it's different laws for different people. There's a different set of laws for men and a different set of laws for women, in the sense that of how they're applied. We have a two-tier justice system in Western society. One for men, one for women. And we can see that. When you look at what's happening, you have to understand that there's no coming back from this. M2 was the straw that broke the camel's back. And yet the irony is that we're now in part 2. And guys, they scorched the earth, but it was not good enough for them. With M2, they scorched the earth. It was not good enough for them. So now they want to set off. They want to play with atomic energy. They want to pull an Oppenheimer. They want to go down that route. I've said this before, that if men ever woke up and said this is enough, it would be like the fist of God descending upon the earth. They would be shook. They would be shaken. If men collectively woke up one day and said, yeah, we're done with this, modern day women would not, guys, it would become The Handmaid's Tale overnight. For those of you that are familiar with The Handmaid's Tale, it would become The Handmaid's Tale overnight. I made a poll where I said, where the statement was just literally, modern women deserve The Handmaid's Tale life. And there were a lot of people, women included, who jumped in there, and they were shocked. And they said, I understand that you guys are upset, but The Handmaid's Tale? Keep in mind, The Handmaid's Tale is a feminist dystopia story. It was written by a feminist and is a beloved story that enriches, that women are constantly enjoying and engrossed in. The Handmaid's Tale is a story of a dystopic future where there's still technology, but women no longer have access to it. And they basically live in a state of medievalness where they have no rights, they can't read, they can't write. They are completely separated from education, and their entire life is just based around servitude. This is the reality that feminists are absolutely engrossed in. They created The Handmaid's Tale, and women love The Handmaid's Tale. And this is the reality that it's like they seem so desperate to create for themselves. And it's like they have zero self-awareness. The crazy thing is that when things get bad enough, absolutely bad enough, a lot of these same women who have no survival skills will then try to flee to other countries. After they tear down their country, they'll try to flee to other countries. How do I know this? Because you can look at what happens in countries that fall, like Venezuela, and I think Guatemala and all these other countries where they had these types of governments in power. And the country falls because the women basically push for this government. The weak men allow this government to go into power. The country is destroyed. Civil liberties are out the door. They're living under a totalitarian regime. And then they flee their country and try to go to another country, usually the United States, where they now want to have everything provided for them. And they are trying to create the exact same government that they had in their countries. They're demanding the exact same government that promised them the things that they wanted: free this, free that, everything be provided for me. And this is what led to the demise of their countries. And now they come to other countries with these same beliefs and ideologies. And that's the thing. This is how modern day women are. They have these same beliefs and ideologies, and this is what they're pushing for. And they think that this is going to work out for them. But you have to understand that right now, modern day women have been working for decades against their own best interest. The things that they are doing is working against their own best interest. The things they are doing will anyone can see will ultimately lead to their decline, hardship. I've said this before many times that modern women, they sold their futures for instant gratification in the present. You look at OnlyFools and LonelyFans, these people are only making less than $1,000 a month on there. Many barely make $100 a month. That's what the average content creator on these platforms make. And the money won't last forever. You have these people literally saying things like, oh, well, I can do this for, I can do LonelyFans for until well into my 60s. There are women in their 60s that are on LonelyFans and OnlyFools. And they don't seem to understand it's not going to last forever. And these Sims ain't loyal. These Sims will leave you and jump to their next lady love. And as AI is serious, a lot of these Sims have mental issues. There's something wrong with these guys. And with M2 Part 2 happening, and these companies rushing very quickly to use AI to sell to these men, these bots that can respond instantly. Guys, with generative AI, they can have conversations now with a woman like they're speaking to a real woman, and enter the metaverse, where these guys are going to jump into the metaverse and interact with these women. They're going to have wives. Men are going to have wives in the metaverse. They're going to be dating artificial intelligence and robots. Do not date robots was literally do not date artificial intelligence. That was the warning. Don't date AI, because we're going to get to the point where people will believe, not only believe, men don't care. There's a lot of men who are more than happy with a doll. More than happy with a doll. Now combine that with artificial intelligence, and oh my gosh, it's whatever you like. We're literally going to enter a world where it's going to be like Blade Runner. And let me tell you guys, it's not going to happen 50 years from now, 60 years from now, 100 years from now. You guys, with augmented reality, you're going to have these women. You're going to have artificially generated women standing in front of you very soon. The technology is there right now. It's just a matter of tweaking it. And it does exist. So that they can respond to you naturally, and they're going to keep pushing it more and more. Guys, customer call, in customer centers, customer service, a lot of that's going to go out the window, where you're going to be interacting directly with generative AI, speaking directly with generative AI, like there's someone else on the other line, and it's actually going to be better and clearer, because they're going to keep on refining it more and more and more until it sounds like you're speaking to a real person. And as people begin learning how to interact with generative AI, they'll understand how to speak to it. You may even be trained and taught how to speak to generative AI voice. So now you know the kinds of questions to ask, how to speak to it. Because like right now, prompt engineering is taking off. Prompt engineering is basically learning how to type prompts into ChatGPT and other large language models. That's technology that powers. that powers technology, Chat GPT and similar tech, these chatbots, and and people are making lots of money learning how to interact with these things, because it's basically becoming it's becoming its own form of programming language, and its society is going to shift to this rapidly, to the point where people don't even know they're talking to a machine, because it's going to feel like they're talking to a normal person. They're going to prefer talking to a machine. It's going to be significantly cheaper. And companies, of course, are going to get greedy because they're going to try to nickel and dime it. But at the end of the day, and here's the thing, it's going to be much cheaper where, the AI will eventually be able to solve 80 to 90% of problems, talking to a generative AI over the phone, for, let's say, customer service or through a chatbot. And companies are already doing it through online, and they're going to try to nickel and dime it. For example, when I use DoorDash, right? DoorDash now, if there's a problem with my order, I'll basically say what's wrong, and the AI will analyze that information, and then based on analyzing that information, it will offer me options. Okay, well, we'll give you this much refund. For example, I ordered some fries recently. Ordered double fries, like 2 fries from McDonald's, right? And it was like almost $8, and I didn't get that. So, I basically went into the app and I reported it that there was a problem with that specific order. The only thing I was able to report initially was that the fries, there was an issue with the fries. There was something missing. And then they said, explain what happened. So I explained, I only got one. What did it come back with? It basically came back and told me, okay, based on the information you provided, we'll offer you a credit for like $4 and something cents, like $4.63. So a little bit more than half of what I would have paid for it. Although when you adjust for taxes and delivery and service fees, that's probably around about that. And they gave me a credit for like $4.53, for roughly half of what I paid for those fries. And the generative AI was able to read that, comprehend that, and process that instantly without me having to speak to a customer service representative, having to speak to a normal to a person that they would have to pay at least some money to do this. Women are going to be replaced rapidly. Right now, women are hunting men in society. Look at what happened to Charlie. Guys, I said this already. If women could come into our homes and police us in our homes, if women could police men into their homes, they would. And you're going to see more things like this. I called this years ago, that you're going to say, as society breaks down, you're going to have women knocking on the doors of men and saying, it's Miss So-and-so from down the road. I'm here. I have cookies. And we can also make love if you want to. A lot of you guys are going to need gates. You're going to need barbed wire fences. Like, you're going to need to really keep people off your property. Guys, this is not a joke. I want to hear your thoughts regarding everything we discussed here today and my predictions for the future. Let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA and walking away. And cheers.